Nah, I ain't say that. Because you know that's not going to happen.
No, maybe it can.
Everybody can when you
under the bridge, but what you feel about this matchup? Unbiasedly, what you feel about this matchup? You know these dudes very
Shakur
well.
had talked about this before it was actually official. And I'm like, Core, you know this fight, right? Core like, nah, bro, I know, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like, we all excited about the fight, bro. Like, we all know what's at stake. Like, we've been knowing Teofimo since we was 12 or 13 years old in amateurs, bro. Like, we all been winning nationals together. Now we're pro having to fight each other. So Teo know who he fighting.
Yeah, man.
Things escalated fast when Keyshawn Davis and Teofimo Lopez went back and forth, and there was nothing lighthearted about the exchange. The tension was real, sharp, and heavy, the kind that tells you this isn't just talk for cameras, it's personal competition bleeding into the open.
It's all love, right, Keyshawn? It's all love, right? It's all love, right, Keyshawn? It's all leave, right? All right, that's it.
It's just a young kid trying to get clout. You know, hasn't made anything, hasn't made no noise, can say what he wants to say. However, hasn't done the recognition, hasn't won a world title. So who is Keyshawn Davis? These guys want clout. Do you guys not understand this? The moment they all get into the moment, right? The momentum. They feel the IQ. They feel the punches. They say, oh, this is real life. I don't want to get knocked out in front of...
Keyshawn didn't soften his message at all. He delivered it straight, warning Teofimo that Shakur Stevenson isn't only there to outmaneuver him. In his view, if Teofimo starts taking risks without discipline, Shakur has the ability to shut the lights off. He sees the fight opening patiently, with both men testing the waters before anything truly ignites.
Starting off slow.
Okay.
And then I see as Shakur wins the first round, as Shakur wins the second round, slowly, I think Teo is going to eventually start picking it up and start imposing his will.
Right.
And then, you know, it's just going to go from there. That's how I think it's going to go.
That's a fair assessment.
That's a fair one.
Especially for that to be his brother.
I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be closer than people think.
What made it hit harder was the confidence behind those words. This wasn't fan speculation, it sounded like insight from someone who's lived in those gyms and understands what different levels actually mean. Moments like that don't calm things down. They pour fuel on a matchup that already feels ready to boil over.
I think he's a guy who went out there and he done the things that everybody asked him to do. He beat the Lomachenko, he beat the Josh Taylor, and he ain't really get the credit for it. So when you don't get the credit for it, it feel like your mental kind of go down with some guys. And I think with him, he kind of didn't go about it the right way. He ain't go about it in a way to where it's like, keep waiting your moment, keep pushing, your time is gonna come. He felt like his time came and nobody respected it. So I did see the drift in his mental, but I think that's a weakness in his game, to be honest. Come fight night, we come in there to make sure we come out victorious. So Teo is a hell of a fighter, I understand that, but I don't think none of these dudes is on my level when I'm at my best. So he got a lot to deal with come January 30th.
Once you strip away the shouting and theatrics of the press conference, the mental side of this fight becomes far more intriguing than the noise ever was. Those exchanges weren't random insults. They were calculated tests. Teofimo wasn't trying to win a soundbite. He was attempting to disrupt how Shakur operates at his core. That's where the real chess match begins.
I think that Teo just painted outline by being as disrespectful as he can at the press conference because he wants to try to piss this kid off so the kid come fight with him. You understand me? Because with me, he had exactly what he wanted. Because as soon as I go in there, I'm coming straight to his head. You understand where I'm coming from? So, but I think that's what he's trying to get. Yeah, you feel me? But I think that's what he's trying to get Shakur to do. Because why would you say that to a person? What does that have to do with boxing? You feel me? He knows that Shakur has great feet and he's not going to be able to catch Shakur if he lets Shakur take his time to do what he does. So he got to try to make Shakur come in and try to kill him, which is what he just did at the press.
Shakur is at his most dangerous when he's relaxed, detached, and processing information on the fly. He doesn't react emotionally, he reacts analytically. He studies posture, foot placement, breathing, and patterns, building the fight like a live equation that constantly updates. Teofimo, by contrast, thrives on explosiveness and creativity. His brilliance often comes in flashes, but even those moments depend on some form of structure. When disorder takes over, he looks for something familiar to reset. That's why the disrespect wasn't accidental, it served a purpose.
I don't feel bad about what he did because I understand it now. When I saw it, he knows that he is right now. He ain't got much chance than outside picking a shot with Shakur because you don't beat Shakur like that. But if he can make Shakur get reckless and talk reckless to him, he's talking reckless to him to force him to hopefully force him to be reckless. You understand me? So what I would have did, like I said, I would have been reckless at the press conference, so I ain't got to be reckless in the ring. You understand me? I really ain't got that recklessness out the way. You feel me? Just so you know, I know where to be reckless at. Wherever you be reckless at is where I'm going to be reckless at. You understand me? So, and we got that out the way, so when the fight comes, I can get back to my fight game. You understand me? But he's just trying to do things to draw Shakur to him, to make Shakur be reckless, because if Shakur fights reckless, that gives him his best chance to win. And that's smart on Teo's.
This was an ego-driven trash talk. It was a deliberate attempt to pull Shakur out of that cold, methodical mindset and drag him into reaction mode. High-level psychological warfare, no doubt. But here's the flaw in that plan. Shakur doesn't need to win verbal battles. He just needs to stay himself. If he lets emotion take the wheel, Teofimo's speed and power suddenly become serious threats. If he stays patient, the bait loses effectiveness, and the chaos Teofimo feeds on starts turning against him. This isn't about bravado or toughness, it's about mental control under stress. One fighter wants emotion, the other wants calculation.
Wait, how do you fight a good boxer or somebody that makes you not only think, but make you possibly come for them at certain points in the fight?
Honestly, it's a game of patience. I think that you just gotta have patience, and sometimes things don't open up in the first 3 rounds or the first 4 rounds, but them things that may open up in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th round. So I think majority of the game is come down to just having patience and being mentally strong enough to withstand the patience game, because good boxers are going to be both patient, and the one that's the most patient is the one who's going to be the most successful when you having a chess match.
When structure disappears and the fight becomes fluid, the fighter who can create without panicking usually dictates the night. And just when it feels like the Stevenson-Lopez discussion can't get more layered, Timothy Bradley Jr. jumps in and shifts everything into a higher level of boxing philosophy. This is where it gets really interesting. Listening to Tim, you can tell this isn't hype. This is someone who hates wasted motion. The way he explains it, Shakur isn't just moving within the rhythm of a fight, he is the rhythm. You move, he adjusts. You pause, he claims space.
Got the guys timing down, know what's coming next, man. He steps ahead of his competition, man. You know, whereas I see Shakur, man, on the other hand, he is the rhythm. You know, and what I mean by that is like, he like the wave, you know what I'm saying? He'll come forward and he'll push back. He'll come forward and he'll push back. He is the rhythm, you know. And I feel like, you know, him not being the most athletic fighter, his equalizer is control the distance. That's his equalizer.
Bradley's comparison lands because it's accurate. Shakur doesn't need to be the strongest or fastest if he's constantly stripping away your options, like closing tabs one by one until there's nowhere left to go. Teofimo, on the other hand, is controlled chaos, raw athletic instincts mixed with creativity. He solves problems mid-fight like a musician improvising on the fly. That's thrilling to watch. But against someone as disciplined as Shakur, improvisation can quickly turn into guessing. What stands out is that Bradley never downplays Teofimo. He gives him full credit for being dangerous and inventive, then immediately brings the focus back to concentration and discipline.
Teo, more so, I would say, he's fast, you know, explosive, and got that punching power, you know, to hurt you, you know, he can sting you. Whereas Shakur is more so like, I would say quick thinker, very decisive fighter, you know what I mean? With his movements, decisive with, you know, all his movements, everything he does inside the ring, there's always like a purpose to it. You know, he's always in the right position, you know, to avoid a shot or to land a
Shakur doesn't perform for the crowd. He doesn't drift mentally or lose focus. He stays locked in, like a student who already knows the answers before the exam begins. When Bradley says Shakur drains the energy out of a fight, that's not criticism, it's a warning. Once frustration creeps in, athleticism starts compensating, mistakes pile up, and suddenly you're losing rounds without realizing how. Bradley's breakdown isn't flashy, it's precise. And that's why it sticks. His message is simple. If this becomes a battle of thinking rather than speed, Shakur is at home there. Once you see it that way, it's hard to look at the fight any other way.
Shakur, again, he ain't got the athleticism, he ain't got that explosiveness like Teofimo Lopez got, man. He ain't got that, you know. But what the thing is that Shakur, he knows how to follow a plan, man. He does. And I think that's a major difference, too, in the fight. And he comes in there and he takes away, man, and he takes away whatever you got going on or whatever you think you're trying to do. Nope. He gonna take.
Right after Timothy Bradley Jr. dissects the danger, like someone mapping a minefield, the conversation levels up again when Coach Rob enters. Now, we're not talking opinions, we're talking bodies, engines, and sustainability. This is where fans often oversimplify things. People hear 5 pounds and shrug, but anyone who's cut weight knows that difference can mean surviving a fight versus feeling sharp inside it. From Rob's perspective, Shakur moving up isn't about chasing knockouts, it's about unlocking the machine. Less depletion, more snap, stronger legs late. And that's unsettling, because Shakur already wins with timing and intelligence. Add strength without sacrificing discipline, and those clean shots start feeling heavier, even without dramatic finishes. What's refreshing is that Rob never dismisses Teofimo. He makes it clear, Teofimo is still the freak athlete. Fast, explosive, dangerous from odd angles. But then he says the quiet truth, athleticism only matters if it lands. Against someone who controls distance like Shakur, wasted explosions turn into exhaustion very quickly.
And he definitely has the athleticism edge over Shakur. Now, I think Shakur's defense is high caliber, and his IQ is also high caliber. So it's a really good matchup because it's kind of like Teo brings, he can either, depending how he fights Shakur, he can either make it a tough night or he can make it an easy night.
This is where it really clicks for fans because Rob frames the fight as efficiency versus ignition. Teofimo is fire, sudden sparks, quick bursts, moments that flip rounds instantly. Shakur is electricity, steady, controlled, always running. Rob points out that Shakur isn't flashy with long combinations. He's precise. Touch, step away, reset, repeat. That style holds up beautifully over 12 rounds, especially when your body isn't depleted anymore. Teofimo can absolutely turn this fight chaotic or spectacular, depending on his decisions. He can force disorder or accidentally give Shakur a boxing lesson by charging at the wrong moments. That's the tension. One fighter thrives in calm, the other thrives in discomfort. And Rob reinforces what Bradley hinted at earlier. If this turns into a late-round test of conditioning and decision-making, that added strength and freshness may matter more than raw explosion. At that point, you're not just watching punches, you're watching who manage their body better throughout camp. And framed that way, this fight stops being about athleticism and becomes about efficiency when it truly counts.
Same thing goes for Shakur. Shakur can try to stay on the ropes the whole time, or he can utilize his legs and box circles around Teo. We don't know. But definitely with the athleticism edge, I'm going to give it slightly over to Teo. But, you know, not saying that Teo doesn't have a good IQ. I just think Shakur's IQ is very, like, I know people know that he's a smart fighter.
When you stack everything together, the picture becomes clear. This isn't noise versus noise or power versus hype. It's control versus combustion. Shakur Stevenson operates like a comm processor, collecting information, stacking rounds, and letting frustration do the damage for him. Teofimo Lopez brings volatility, elite athleticism, and the ability to flip everything in a single instant if he's given the wrong opening. All the press conference drama, mind games, weight discussions, and training camps funnel back to one question. Who stays disciplined when the plan starts to crack? If the fight turns emotional, rushed, or reckless, that favors Teofimo. If it stays measured, efficient, and calculated, Shakur turns it into his kind of night. That's why fighters, analysts, and coaches all keep circling the same theme. Patience versus pressure, efficiency versus ignition. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, just execution when it matters most.
But I think that when we talk about fighters throughout these eras, he's not really mentioned in these things because of the opposition who he has faced. But he does have some great IQ, and from a coach's standpoint, I get to see how he does certain things, why he does certain things. I'm like, that's smart, you know, and he capitalizes. He got good range control, so it's going to be interesting.
Now I want your take. How you see this unfolding once the lights are bright and the rounds start slipping away? Does Teofimo force chaos, or does Shakur quietly take control and never give it back? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's really break this one down. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. Catch you in the next one.